132 eminent personalities on Sunday and 183 signatories today signed two different petitions to fight a very dangerous anti-India propaganda. Viewers, there is a silent campaign to malign India using fake narratives. A fake Islamophobia narrative is one of them. Tonight, the country says enough is enough. We will not let this lobby divide us. 183 prominent citizens today, viewers. It's going to be 183,000 tomorrow. 183 million after that. The whole country is fed up of the lobby and they have decided to speak up. So let's debate.
At last official count, over 4,500 cases of COVID-19 in India were directly linked to the Nizamuddin Markaz. The truth about the single super spreader at the peak of the outbreak didn't suit many. In Moradabad, our COVID heroes were attacked. Doctors thrashed. Stones pelted at the police. And when the attackers were arrested, they built the Islamophobia narrative.
People are shameless enough to take funds from an enemy country like Pakistan and say what they want them to say. Say what they want them to say.
On Sunday, 132 eminent personalities wrote a letter exposing the attempt to divide India. Today, 183 signatories have spoken up.
They are concerned and they believe that a deliberate, motivated agenda and narrative is being pushed that there was some kind of Islamophobia in the country. Now, there was a Markaz bomb, but it was a fact.
These eminent personalities have marked the attempt of vested interest to create a false perception and the fake claim of harassment due to a particular community, adding that there is a larger design to shred India's strong social fibre and an attempt to defame India by a fake anti-India narrative.
Some part of the media which has got the vested interest and they are trying to support anti-India sentiments and maybe win over Pakistan's some kind of support.
Sadly, a large section of Indian media has peddled the Islamophobia narrative to aid the propaganda. At a time when we are fighting as one, isn't it the single greatest disservice? Let's debate.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone who has written this letter and who is a signatory. One of them is with me tonight, former DGP of Tripura, B.L. Vora, is a signatory to it. Mr. Vora is a very, very experienced man. He would not put his signature to anything without reading the contents of that letter. Mr. Vora, first of all, to start the debate, can you tell us? Okay, Mr. Vora, I've lost the line with him. So let me put it to Nupur first. Nupur, do you want to start the debate? Okay, Nupur will start. Nupur will start the debate with Tausif. Tausif, people have begun to speak up because over the last 6 months, the lobby has really revealed itself. Look at the people it has supported. It has supported the people who tried to block roads, create violence, Shaheen Bagh, Sarjeel Imam, the people who tried to create riots in Delhi, those who have now been charge sheeted. Then Maulana Saad, Tablighi Jamaat, Markaz, who have spread the greatest super spreader of India, COVID. Liars who said Hindus and Muslims are put on separate wards in Gujarat hospitals. Liars, pathetic liars. So, it's India against the lobby now. And can I tell you one more thing? Now 183 judges, veterans, civil servants are writing. They are also praising all the state governments and union territories and the national government. So there's no state-center divide here. Do you understand that? It is the lobby. Everybody is looking at the lobby and saying this lobby, Nupur, incites, spreads fake propaganda and makes a living doing this. Right? So somewhere during this lockdown period, I feel, Nupur, that the anger against the lobby has come out very much in the open. What do you think? This letter is only the latest proof of that.
No, Arnab, you're absolutely right. And actually, I want to discuss this in the wake of that recent arrest of a Jain restaurant owner. I mean, I really remember it was McDonald's last year, which very famously announced, we are halal certified. You can ask our manager for a halal certificate. Do these people even realize what actually goes into getting a halal certificate? Only a Muslim following Sharia law can be a halal animal slaughterer. And only after reading a kalma can we slaughter an animal. And that is fine. That is legal to have a halal certified restaurant of halal slaughterers, but it's not fine to respect other minorities like them. Now, this is the actual problem. This is a fake news narrative. I'd like to congratulate the 83 eminent personalities.
Halal or jhatka or something like that. It's not like that, Arnab, right? This is what you want to explain to your viewers today, that it is not about one community, it's not about anyone.
I can't get the audio clear.
It's about the lobby.
You have to be a Sharia following Muslim to read the kalma and then slaughter.
Nupur, one minute. Calm down, everyone. The issues are elementary out here. And we are going to open up the issues right now. Our next debater is Ishkaran. 1 minute. Ishkaran will debate with Mehez Khan. Now, why have 183 people come together? Because they have said that our group is quite disturbed at the manner in which the mouthpieces of certain vested interests are consistently trying to create a perception that there is a widespread harassment caused to a particular community in the states. Now, I think that's so true and correct. And I'll give one example. Last time Mehez came on the debate, I may forewarn you, she refused to take part in the debate. She kept speaking about the member of parliament from Bangalore of the BJP. I hope today for the first time she will take part in the subject of the debate. Now, example in point. This lobby worked very hard to say that people in Gujarat, Mehez, you need to listen. Mehez, you need to listen. Ishkaran, in Gujarat, the lobby worked very hard to spread a Hindu-Muslim divide, and they were beaten. Now this lobby needs to be completely exposed before the people of India. I think more and more people need to do it. Please.
Arnab, the lobby, Arnab, if you tell the lady to please allow me to answer the question. It's a question to me. Please let me answer it. Arnab, the question here is raised is that there is a particular...
Mehez, let him finish and then you come in. Mehez, he started, let him finish and then you come in.
I
have not even started.
Thank you.
Mehez, let him finish and then you come in. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Arnab, the question raised is there is a particular community which is facing discrimination. Now we have a person in Jamshedpur who writes Hindu Fal Dukan. I got involved in the case and he had a FIR registered on him for writing Hindu Fal Dukan. And what is halal? The rules of halal. Government approved rules. Anybody in your audience can
The debate is not on halal. 1 minute. We'll distract ourselves.
It's on discrimination.
Address the broader point. Address the broader point. One of the points being made here is that communities don't matter. If people are violating the lockdown, they are lockdown violators. So for example, the Tablighi Jamaat Markaz was only a super spreader. And these are the people who tried to bring religion into it.
Arnab, but we have to state the facts for what the facts are. And there is no discrimination happening in India. Everybody who violates the law faces punishment, except, in fact, I would say that the government goes out of its way to accommodate everybody. That is what we are seeing live in action. That is why I gave the example of Jamshedpur. That is why I am giving the example that halal rules say that only a Muslim
Mehez will respond. Mehez.
But that is not a crime. So India is such a tolerant country that we allow specific communities to control entire industries. There is no discrimination. Rohingyas want to come to India. There is no discrimination of all the countries available to them. They want to come to India. This shows that there is no discrimination in India except in the minds of those people whose business survives on saying that India
Mehez
has
Khan will now
discrimination,
respond. Mehez,
so that they get trips abroad.
Mehez,
so that
you
they
need
get
to look at
rise in journalism abroad.
Mehez, you need to look at the people who are speaking. And one line to you before you start, Mehez. I'm handing it over to you. Mehez, one thing. Just listen. You must look at the profiles of the people who've written these letters. They're among the most incredibly, experienced,
don't you
nationalistic
feel, Arnab,
Indians.
Don't you feel, Arnab, these are people
of tremendous eminence, and they all want you to see reason.
Exactly, they are people who have been holding certain positions. That's it. So these are the people who've been holding certain positions. If they felt about it, there was certain, agenda which has been running around against the Muslims in the country.
Of course, there's an agenda.
There is a message which has been coming out. There's a message coming out over there. There's a message coming out over there that the Muslims are trying to spread the coronavirus.
No, nobody used the Muslim card. Nopur is responding. No, absolutely wrong. Nopur.
The kind of hashtag. I raised the same thing last time as well. China the producer, Muslims the distributors. Nizamuddin, COVID 786. What about that? Isn't that
audio? Can you have the phone audio for
what kind of image you're trying to build across the world for the country?
No.
The country which was ruled for 7 decades through a constitution. It's thanks to the BJP that you guys are making this nation to a very Indian-centric. No, there is nothing called constitution in the country.
Nopur, the problem is both of you must not speak together. To Nopur, I would say just take your phone, remove your earpiece, hold your phone physically, your audio will be much clearer then. 1 minute. Let me get... Mehez, listen. No, take off the take off the cord. Take off the cord, hold it to your ear and speak. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Much better. Continue. Yes, much better.
I really have a question for this lady when she says that these are people who are celebrated, who are on some certain positions. Well, madam, certainly so are your Tablighi Jamaatis. Today,
was it us running?
Do you realize
COVID 786, COVID 786, Tablighis, the hate mongers, the jihadis, where does it come from? Where does it come from?
Actually being ushered away for tests. In Sultanpuri, they were not listening.
You've been running for the past 6 years and for the past decade. You have been running as a campaign, trying to divide for your own benefits, for the vote bank politics.
1 second, I have severe problems with the audio line which you're holding. I'm going to fix that and come back, Nopur, because I want you in the debate. I'd like General Sanjay Soi and BL Vora to now come into the debate.
Yes,
Mr. Vora, I think, and Sanjay Soi, I think people need to hear you right now. Mehez, if you may, Mehez, I'll have you on the debate, but can you please listen to these two distinguished gentlemen? May I start with you, Mr. Vora? You've been the former DGP of Tripura. General, I'll come to you after Mr. Vora. Now, what is refreshing is, usually the same usual suspects, Aparna Sen and Nasiruddin Shah, ever speak on issues, and they've taken on this role of public intellectual. Ramachandra Goa, Aparna Sen, Nasiruddin Shah, Anurag Kashyap, 3-4 people. Now, why did all of you come together and put your foot down this time? Why did you come and say our country is not communal, not Islamophobic, but there is an attempt to present it as one? Why were you compelled to make this statement public? Yes, please, Mr. Vora.
Mr. Arnab, see, enough is enough. That is straight away answer in one line, a few words. Now, I've been in the government for 40 years. I started my career with Delhi Police, went to J&K, went to Punjab, went to Northeast, Manipur, all these places I have served. And I have seen that throughout, the attempt was by some people, I wouldn't like to name them, to treat the Muslims as a holy cow. The point is they're Indians like us. Now, in these cases, if they commit a crime, whether it is Markaz or other in a hospital, why shouldn't be action taken against them? And why say that the government is going against the Muslims? Now, this is what is happening. These people are no friends of Muslims. They are trying to appease them. They have done a lot of disservice. They have kept them illiterate. They haven't looked after them economically. And they just want their own fame. They just want their 15 minutes fame every other day. So they use handles of Pakistan. They go to foreign countries. They get these things published. It's a shame, if you ask. So that's why we decided.
Mr. Wani, Mr. Wani, if you listen to the point that Mr. Vora made, And I'll go to Sarfaraz Wani in Srinagar before going to General Sanjay Soy. You see, I also have been making the same point. The Tablighi Jamaat Markaz is the greatest super spreader, greatest contributor to the spread of coronavirus in India. Like it or not, I'll say it 1,000 times. Yeah. What will you do? It's a reality, Abhijit. We are not going to be apologetic about it. In fact, I think the people who are at fault is who play the Muslim card in defense. This has nothing to do with Muslims. It is people who are using the Muslim card as defense. People like Tausif. He says, oh, you're targeting Muslims. Nobody's targeting Muslims. I'm targeting the Tablighi Jamaat Markaz, the organizer of that conference, Tausif. Now people are calling you out and naming and shaming you for making this a religious issue. You're the one who has to explain. General Soy, make your point. No, General Soy.
We are the concerned citizens of India. Yes. And we have retired judges, Indian Armed Forces veterans and retired civil services people.
General Soy.
And we are Indian first. We are above any religion.
Tolerance in the country. Yeah.
No, let General Soy complete, and Sarfaraz, you can come in after that. No, 1 second, please. When Aparna Sen speaks and all, you listen.
I was saying
listen to General Soy also. Continue, General Soy. Continue, General Soy.
Yeah.
Continue. They will try to heckle you, but continue.
We are Indian first. We are above any religion, whether Muslim, Hindu, all people of all religion are part of us. And we are really concerned that the way Muslims are being used by some certain elements, I would say that Muslims are as much patriot as any other person. It is just small section which is then and which is being taken care of. Otherwise, as far as I am concerned, we are above religion, our group is above religion, and we are Indian first.
Sarfaraz.
In fact, in this case, if you see when the government has brought people from abroad, they have not taken care of which religion the individual was from, which religion. If the trains are being run, the migrants are being sent to the respective places.
Yes.
It is irrespective of any religion.
Yes.
Whether it is a Muslim, Hindu, Sikh or Christian, everybody is allowed to travel.
Yes.
When the help is being given, the camps are being established, it is irrespective of any religion. When the medical treatment is given, irrespective of any religion. So it is a certain element which are using the Muslims. In fact, Muslims should be wary of these people who have made fool of them, and I mean they should understand who is their well-wisher, and if the present government is doing this, it is above any religion.
Sir, I give you some examples, and I think so well said today. And Sarfaraz, I need you to think about it. These people are not friends of Hindus or Muslims. These are enemies of India. In fact, the people who are trying to present this as a Muslim problem, you know, Sarfaraz, look at General Soy. He has spent all his life serving the country. Look today at B.L. Vora. He has spent all his life serving in police forces in all front areas of the country. What is their agenda? You know what their agenda is? They are in pain today. I think these gentlemen who have given maybe 35, 40 years each in the service of the nation and have worn the uniform, they are fed up of people, who put out articles like this article was put out in Scroll. There's something called Scroll, Abhijit, which says, watching Amar Akbar Antony during lockdown, when the poor were still in Bollywood, in the Bollywood frame, it was also a time when Muslims were not villains. I mean, to everything, these people like Mr. Vora and General Soy, I'm telling you, Mehez, they have watched shallow individuals like Arundhati Roy talk about, what did she say, a genocide-like situation in India, and they have kept quiet. Today, these people have come out and said, what gives these people the right to misrepresent my country to the world? And their word holds 1,000 times more weight.
Well, why are you?
1,000 times more weight. So listen, Maz, with respect, thank them. Sarfaraz, you want to say something to General Soy? You want to thank him? You want to thank General Soy on television?
With all due respect,
even though I have all the respects for army men who are sacrificing their lives for us, for our safety, who are getting martyred for our safety. At the same time, as a lawyer, I feel that yes, there is a need for strong and robust laws to curtail fake news. On the same time, I would like to say that this dispensation, this government, has been the highest spreader of the fake news. We saw how in Parliament, somebody at the level of Prime Minister comes up with a fake news, a sarcastic news called the fakingnews.com, and comes up and defends.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think
what are you talking about? No,
this is,
I'll get Mehez into the debate.
I'm talking about how fake news has
highly defamatory. I am warning you this. What
louder.
Allegations is highly defamatory. At the same time, Arnab, I have one point.
Why don't you
know
talk
what?
about
If
Yogi
put on so special, then even Javed Akhtar would be booked like Sonu Nigam was. When Sonu Nigam
on the 25th of March, and that is not spoken about. Please talk about it, Nupur. When Yogi ji, along with the other people,
Nupur's audio is gone again.
Goes to the temple,
I'm sorry.
and he's bringing up a gathering of people.
Ishkaran and Mehez.
When he's bringing up the gathering of people.
Arnab, it is unbelievable that these people, the people who are filing FIRs on everybody else for speaking news, blame the central government for spreading fake news. See their record. They are journalists under assault because of misuse of laws across the country, and I'm not taking any names. And these people now want more laws so that they will classify news as fake news and put journalists more in trouble. This is the Nehruvian mindset which brought the First Amendment, which restricted our right to free speech. Because Mr. Nehru lost 2 cases. Because Mr. Nehru could not prevent certain journalists from speaking the truth, and Supreme Court upheld those journalists' right to, from communists to RSS. They brought the First Amendment to restrict our right to free speech.
But you know, when No. I think what's happening, I'd like Abhijit to come in. I think what's happening is, Mehez, you are meeting more than your match. Now, I'll tell you why. I'd like Abhijit to come in and come into the debate with Royden Roach. Royden, listen to Abhijit. You see, what has happened is people from different fields, Abhijit, different religions are all coming together, not you and me. Today, we are supported by millions of Indians, and this 183 is going to become a tsunami now. My question is, how much hate will this lobby spout? Isn't it clear punishment is coming for those people who write articles saying, sources say the government center is toying with the idea of mapping the virus in terms of community. People actually put out an article saying community-based mapping of coronavirus. Can you believe it? And we are given lectures in quality journalism by these frauds. We are given the lectures. So now I think things are really changing. COVID is leading to a metamorphosis in thinking in this country. Abhijit.
Arnab, I don't know why it surprises you that these people are up to their old tricks again. We saw this with Lynchistan, we saw this with church attacks. It is always the sequence of writing letters and coming up with fake narratives. Arundhati Roy recently saying COVID is a mask to carry out a genocide, God knows what else. They are repeatedly proven wrong, and yet they are considered credible for some reason. Now let's look at what happened with the Tabligis. The Tablighi incident was followed by certain instances of certain lawbreakers either rioting or spitting. Now, why does just because a large preponderance of them belong to one religion, why does everybody have to jump to their defense? Why can't you just say, this fellow spat, throw him in jail? No, you're going after him because he's a Muslim. Who is communalizing this? Are we communalizing this? No. They are the ones going after these people, saying they are being targeted not for spitting, they are not being targeted for throwing rocks at healthcare workers, they are not being targeted for not listening to the police.
This was a fake agenda, a fake narrative. So the people who were running the Twitter hashtag, I'm not sure if my voice is coming out loud enough here. I'm trying to make up a statement here that the people who've been running the hashtag of COVID-786,
where is Nupur's audio?
Websites with agendas like a certain fault news.
Tablighi Jamaat is a 100-year-old organization. The government had already, let me bring this back to you. When Mr. Trump visited India, the coronavirus was already there. The airports were already testing. So why wasn't the entire event being called off? Why was about 150 crores spent on the event where Mr. Trump is coming, the president is coming, where there was already an airport screening going on? You will not talk about those incidents. You will not talk. That could have been a big violation. That could have actually spread the entire COVID further. But because Tabligh belongs to a certain religion, you have to spread your fake narrative, and that's why you will only bring that topic. Why don't you talk about Mr. Yogi Adityanath?
Have you been completely brainwashed into talking like this? Mehez, have you been completely brainwashed into talking like this? Can I ask you something? 1 minute. Mehez, have an open mind. Have an open mind. You tell me, Mehez. Tell me, Mehez. 1 minute. Listen to me, Mehez. Listen to me. Certain portals published fake news that an audio clip of Maulana Saad was doctored, to which the Delhi police replied saying, not only is this factually incorrect, but seems to be based on wholly unverified sources and purely conjectural imagination.
And moving the Ram.
Mehez, why don't you listen? If you don't listen, how will you answer? Tell me. Can you answer without listening?
I also feel that you have a. I also feel that you have a certain.
No, but you haven't listened at all. Are you worried about the question?
That I also feel. If you talk about Tablighi people violating the law, then why aren't you talking about Yogi Adityanath violating on 25th of March?
You are reading the wire.
Clearly a lockdown situation. He goes there. He moves the idols of the Ram with certain priests. Why are you not talking about that? Why don't you criticize that? Why is he not tried? Why there is fire against him? Why don't you bring that up? You should bring that up. You should bring that up.
Why don't you
take it up? You should talk about Mr. Yogi Adityanath.
That a Sonu Nigam can be booked. An FIR can be registered against a Sonu Nigam for objecting to an azan. But Javed Akhtar is let off because he is a Muslim. Javed Akhtar has also objected to azan. Why don't you, as a secular Muslim, go and register a case against Javed Akhtar for speaking against azan? Why don't you do that?
Your government was still doing. Why your government was still?
Is it not your government?
The situation was so critical. You guys were busy buying your MPs and MLAs. The horse trading was going on. The ceremony in Madhya Pradesh was changing of the government was very on. What about that? You have no answers. When you have no answers, you build up a fake agenda.
All right. I now also want to come into. Let me read from the letter. Let me read from the letter. Let me read from the letter. General Soy, one second. Let me get BL Vora in. Mr. Vora, your letter says our group is quite disturbed at the manner in which the mouthpieces of certain vested interests are consistently trying to create an impression that there is widespread harassment caused to a particular community in the states. As members of civil society, we believe that the state governments are absolutely right in their decisions to take stern action against anyone attacking doctors, paramedics, sanitation workers, or any public servant engaged in fighting COVID at ground zero. Why were you compelled to make this point? Do you feel that the message did not go strongly enough? Or was it just a series of incidents which happened, and anytime anyone questioned any of the incidents, whether Moradabad or elsewhere, a communal angle would be brought into it?
I think we were disturbed because we found that some people always close their eyes to the facts, to the truth. They have one agenda, they just want to walk on that agenda. I'll ask them 3 questions, Arnab, if you permit.
Please go on.
What is wrong in taking legal action against those who defy the law, whether in the hospital or otherwise? If they happen to be Muslims, then what? I mean, they are Indians. Action has to be taken under the Indian law. Second, has government discriminated against Muslims on for anything? For getting them from abroad, for traveling here, for distributing food, for giving shelter? Has the government done anything against this particular community? And third, has the Prime Minister or Home Minister said anything against the community?
Not at all.
Oh, there are always some madcaps here and there. This you will find in all the communities. But does it mean that some group says, as if the entire India is against the Muslims?
These facts that you're telling me, everyone, they seem like obvious truths. But my question is, despite all of us knowing, why does one group constantly do that? Why did they say, in India we are all going to starve to death during COVID, during the lockdown? Chetan, today you are... Chetan, listen. Today these questions are being asked by these citizens, but it's becoming viral today across the country. This letter is going across, it's spreading like wildfire, everyone's reading it. And you know what it says, General Choi, tell Chetan. It says, our group objects to a divisive anti-India propaganda for certain elements, which is a plot in the larger design to shred the nation's strong social fiber and to defame India and the Indians by unfairly tarnishing them globally to levels false allegations. Don't speak to me, speak to General Choi.
What Gandhi would have done, what Gandhi would have thought.
In fact, we were forced to write this letter. We were very pained, really pained to see at this time when everybody has to be together and there are divisive forces are there. They are trying to divide India. They are sending the bad name to India when nothing is going wrong. It is time to be united, time to be together, time to be positive, time to think ahead, time to be, come over this problem. And this is a time,
we have a legal system.
It hurts us when we have put in,
like this.
as an
You may
Indian,
be having
I'm
your
above
own
any religion.
or kind of
It hurts us, it pains us. That's why we are forced to write this letter.
You are now accusing him of defamation. General Choi, Chetan Singh, who supports the Congress party, is accusing you of defamation. It is a standard tactic of the Congress party. Anybody questions them, they say you are defaming us.
If we want to defame, I am ready for any defamation.
So are we all. Don't we know that?
I write that we are against any divisive force. That means he is accepting that he is part of divisive force. That means you are accepting that you are part of divisive force. We are not named anything. We are not named any party. We are just named that divisive. Anybody who is against India is against me.
Though the current discourse talks about it, the current discourse says that we are the one who follows the principles of Gandhi, but it doesn't seem like they are walking the talk. It's a time to walk the talk. And the walking the talk is only going to happen when we go to embrace everybody. We have seen in 2019 also, after the election, what Modi ji has said.
Chetan, she has a poor audio line, so I'd be happy if you're quiet for a while. Thank you. Give her the space. She's got a poorer audio line than you, so 1 minute. Just stop. I'll reduce the volume there. Chetan, try and listen. I'm getting you on the debate, but you have to be quiet. Nopur.
Chetan, please. If you were so secular, you would go out there and just like a Jain restaurant owner has been picked up, a Hindu fruit seller has been picked up, you would actually get cases registered and get all those halal restaurant owners picked up. And I give due credit to Shefali Vaidya. He shared a picture, an advertisement of an advertisement declaring the first Sharia full halal construction of a residential
No, but I think you're focusing too hard on one point, Nopur. So no, 1 minute. There's a broader point. Today's subject of debate is not so specific. We have these eminent citizens, and they've made certain points. I'd like them to come into the debate. I'd like them to come in. I'd like them to come in. I'd like them to come in. No, one sec. Mr. Vora, please come into the debate. Royden, you know what happens is, it's unusual for us to have you or General Choi on the debate. We have political debates very often. Now, I'll pit you against an unlikely rival, that is Mohammad Tausif Rahman, who supports the TMC. So, Derek O'Brien, don't get too stressed about it. Question here is, Tausif, you realize today why these citizens come up?
Arnab. It's not about whom I'm supporting.
Tausif, a minute. Listen to me complete.
No, it's not about
what they are saying is, what they are saying also is, that what is of extreme seriousness is that some of the mouthpieces of these anti-India elements rake up fake anti-India news, including from the Twitter handles operated in Pakistan and its ISI from many countries for undercover operations against India without any verification worth the name. There is an imperative need to identify and expose such fake news and their authors and take stringent action against them as per the law, including the ones who use them as launching pads. Now, Tausif, 1 minute. Tausif, let me complete. I don't want to speak over you, so you're being extremely rude when I'm asking you 3 times to let me complete my point. Okay? And you're wasting my time. I'll take you off air if you do that. Because I'm completing my point and you're just, you're like background music and you don't even sound like Kishore Kumar. You sound like a poor imitation. The question is, viewers, during after Pulwama and just before or after Balakot, there is a person, and she knows who I'm talking. I'm not talking of the one who is Hafiz Saeed's favorite journalist. There's another lady. She has a blue-ticked handle, and she put out fake news that the Sikh regiment is refusing to stand with India, almost claiming that there's some kind of a mutiny in the Indian army. This, Mr. Vora, was fake news, and what is worse, what they did is they took a screenshot, put a fake logo of Republic on it, and claimed that Republic was reporting that the Sikh regiment is not going to fight for India. I had to complain officially to Twitter, who hardly listened to me. I had to put representations everywhere. So what you've written is absolutely correct, Mr. Vora. Can you please emphasize this point? Why do Indians, some Indians, Mir Jafars, Jai Chands, push a Pakistan agenda in India? And why were you compelled to make this point in your letter now?
I was going to say the same thing, Arnab, that first of all, these people must realize that they are Indian. And they should not use Twitter handles of countries like Pakistan. And since they are doing it, I think they are being highly irresponsible. They are doing damage to themselves and to the country. I think that's second. All the fake news, they are all senior citizens themselves. They are senior bureaucrats, officers. Shouldn't they verify the fake news before they bank on it to defame India? 3, we are all Indians. We are here to live for India, not having politics here.
Yeah.
Not pitting one community against the other. So they are doing great disservice.
Today we are talking about blaming people
disservice to the Muslim
blue ticks
community.
on Twitter and all. What about the media itself? We have our own media who spreads fake news. We have journalists sitting who spreads fake news against the people, against the community, instigate the people.
Who is spread fake news against any community?
And after
one minute. I'll have to take the bull by the horns on this one. 1 minute. Ishkaran, you know the most, no, 1 minute. Just a minute. To the contrary, Ishkaran. To the contrary, when we bust fake news, these people don't like it. They are the ones who try and communalize it. They are the ones who look for a Hindu-Muslim angle. It is they who are at fault. Ishkaran versus Roy and Roach.
Arnab, they say that these people who attack India are respected people. They could be in the post of a Delhi Minority Commission who wants an Arab avalanche at India. There could be people like Arundhati Roy who will go to all international forum, attack Indian army, call Kashmir as a disputed territory, and even worse language, I don't want to use what she calls about Kashmir, say unbelievable allegations of what army does there. These sort of people who have made a career out of attacking India, probably sponsored by pro-Pak lobbies or pro-lobbies which attack India, these people are respectable to them. It is a shame that these people on record, on statements have said, we want an avalanche to come to India. Has anybody disowned that statement? Has any moderate disowned that statement? Has anybody on the panel disowned that statement? Let them at least disown the Delhi Minorities Commission statement. Why don't you ask them to disown it and apologize for it?
Home Minister,
none of them will do it.
Chief Minister,
none of them do it.
In each state.
That is the reality which India is facing.
Mehez, will you disown that statement?
Why don't you apologize and disown that statement?
Let Mehez disown the statement. Let's see if Mehez disowns the statement. Mehez, will you disown the statement?
I think if you...
will you disown the statement? Will you
I think the last time when we were debating on the show about this...
And condemn the statement of the Delhi Minorities Commission Chief, please. Thank you.
Of course, anybody who's made a statement which is, not running in the cause of,
not
particular
anybody.
situation, of course, I am going to condemn that, statement. But right now, I did not make that statement. I think he has...
It's a clear-cut case of sedition. Do you think he should be arrested or not?
The guy who made a statement...
Do you think it is a deplorable statement or not? It's a simple question. That's a deplorable statement or not for you? Please give your opinion on it.
The guy who came with his gun towards the students protesting in Jamia is already on the
Is it a deplorable statement or not?
Slapped on him.
Is it a deplorable statement or not?
You tell me, na? You tell me that that is on the board right now. Kapil Mishra makes a statement.
I can't believe it.
You know,
Major General.
Makes a statement, and those.
No, Maz, I gave you an opportunity. I really feel, I truly feel that you should have condemned the statement because it was a glorious opportunity to show that you are objective. Now, General Soy also wants to come into the debate.
I would have felt the same if these guys would have condemned Kapil Mishra.
Nopur versus Maz. Nopur.
It's not objective, they're just hypocrites. Fact of the matter is, otherwise they would not be calling terrorists.
Of course, that goes back to...
Stop speaking over me. I've not been speaking over you. Have some decency. Don't drown out my voice. Don't show it.
I have not even spoken to you as of now. How would I even speak over you? I am not even doing that to you either.
People like you would not be calling
do you have the audacity of criticizing your own minister who's been running the hate campaign?
No.
As a painter, I'm sorry, or an artist, people like you would not be supporting people calling Indian artists for children. You are the one. Stand with people like Arundhati Roy who have been found guilty of contempt of the Supreme Court of India.
Why does your party have to always... Do you guys think you guys are over the constitution?
I believe you're not a hypocrite. You will file a case against Prime Minister.
You guys have raised the standards. Nobody is hypocrite.
Okay, now I'm going back to General Soy. General Soy, I continue to look at your letter, and lots of many parts of your letter, appeal to me very, very strongly. I think you have also said here, you've also spoken about the time that India is in. And you have gone and said, and I'd like to quote this part, it is imperative that the anti-India propaganda mouthpieces are not allowed to undermine or tarnish the immense hard work and dedication of healthcare personnel, emergency food supply chain workers, sanitation, police, other public workers, with their false narrative and motivated allegations of creating a notion of harassment of a particular community in India. Now, General Soy, this can't be only limited to the war against COVID. There has to be a long-standing solution to this. People who take an anti-India position while operating in India, consistently, who are hurting India's national interest, should penal provisions not be applicable to them? Should the criminal procedure code, the penal code, not be implemented more strongly? Should they be allowed to take the cover of NGOs and media, which they very often misuse in order to operate freely against the interests of India's sovereignty?
Absolutely. In fact, at times I see a much bigger design behind the whole thing. In fact, when they are trying to demoralize the health workers, they are trying to demoralize the police, they are trying to demoralize the people who are supply chain helping the poor, and at the same time, they are also glorifying the militants. And they are saying the Indian army is doing the human rights acts. I mean, that's what I was telling earlier, that is this Colonel Ashutosh or Major Sood sacrificed their life because of personal enmity against those militants? They were fighting for the nation. And these people, I mean, they are using Muslims. And they have a bigger agenda of dividing India, defaming India, and I mean, it is absolutely sedition, I would say.
Stop using the Muslim card, because you end up doing a great injustice to the community in India, Tausif. And I've been telling you about it. You see, I've been telling them the same thing, General Saul, all the time. They call themselves secular. They are the most communal in this country. Their entire livelihood depends on playing the Muslim card. If they don't play the Muslim card for 1 week, let me tell you, they suffer from deep insecurity. I think it's only what's interesting is Ishkaran and Mr. Voda that for the first time people are coming out and calling them out. Usually it's me, a few people, everyone's coming and calling them out now. These people who use the Muslim card for everything. Mr. Voda,
bluff has been called.
Mr. Voda to change, Mr. Voda to Royden.
Yeah. So I say that we will now keep on doing it.
With a prejudice, you're going to end it with a prejudice.
Keep on doing
so
it.
Obviously, you know, whatever
one has had enough of it.
You're not going to feel about it. Mujhko mute kar diya.
It's really unfortunate, Mehz, that when you're allowed to ask, when I ask you questions, you don't take it. And it's really infuriating that you don't have the patience to take questions. Yes, Mr. Voda, please continue.
Right away. That Madam, if you have any objectivity, you will actually go and silence it against Arvind Akhtar like Sonu Nigam was.
Yes, Mr. Vora, you said this was not going to be the last time. That's fantastic news.
I'm saying that if they continue doing this service to the Muslim community, we will also now keep on standing against them, standing up to them. I think it's very important that they should be checked.
Yeah.
That is why I think we'll keep on doing it in future now.
Yeah, Royden, will you people stop playing the Muslim card, stop communalizing, stop being so divisive in your approach, or will you continue to do that? Because Abhijit, I think that he should read the writing on the wall. Abhijit, right? The question is whether, Royden, you make your point and then Abhijit will patiently respond.
Communalizing the issue, trying to target certain community, and
nobody's targeting any community.
No. Why doesn't the Prime Minister talk about it? Has the Prime Minister spoken about it? In the open, BJP leaders have said things. They have divided the community, divided the people of the country, and after that...
You're looking nervous right now. Why is that, Royden?
I don't know from where you get the news. This is fake news then. This is also fake news from you.
You know, more and more people are going to come out against you now. Are you going to change?
Coming on the streets.
Are you going to change? Are you going to change?
I'm very curious about this line of logic that if some BJP leaders say something, it has to be extrapolated to the government as a whole. But if some Muslims are going around spitting and whatever, it shouldn't be extrapolated to the community as a whole. There's a fundamental logical flaw in this whole argument out here, number one. Number two, please remember, this has been a consistent pattern. There has never been any logic to these attacks. I'm sure if they wanted, they could have lodged be a serious opposition and take on this government in a logical fashion, but they never do. Why? Because they have completely NGOized their minds. They've basically become activists who, the louder they scream, the more ludicrous they sound, the more money they can raise, the more funds they can raise, the more international platforms they get invited to, because these days crazy is the new in, you know, crazy is the new black. So, you know, that's fine. I mean, go for it. But the point is, you make a laughing stock out of yourself every time you come up with these fake narratives. Listen, nobody is targeting Muslims in this country. What has happened here is we have always accepted in this country that minority communities
you can't target it's not about Muslim, it's all about Indians.
Minority
and every time you are talking about
today
Muslims
in Chennai,
why don't you take Indians?
Yesterday
why don't you quote
Chennai,
Indians? Why do you have
community was targeted, the Jain minority, which is even smaller than the Muslim minority, was actively targeted by the state government, hauled off to jail. Thankfully, the gentleman got bail. And this is a community that also practices halal certification, where everybody in the processing chain has to be a Muslim.
Okay, now I again, you know, I think you guys are focusing on the halal issue too much. Come to the issue. The point what he is making here is Tausif, because the sum and substance of this letter is that a false notion of harassment is being created of a particular community. I'll tell you one thing, Tausif. So many Muslim friends of mine are also coming out and saying, why are politicians trying to stigmatize us? Tablighi Jamaat does not represent all Muslims in India. Maulana Saad, what Maulana Saad has done is something that he is responsible for. Why are you trying to stigmatize a community when nobody else is? You're trying to do that.
But that does not amount to full-on Islamophobia.
No.
This is exactly the kind of mentality that brought on Nazi Germany.
This narrative.
This is the kind of inferiority complex.
Ishkaran.
Exactly the kind of
Ishkaran, the narrative.
Ishkaran beat anybody. The only thing which I can hear out loud is halal. The only word which comes up, where does it come from?
Ishkar.
Every now and then we are
Ishkaran and Chetan.
Thank you. Arnab, why people are coming out to speak so loudly is because statements of Delhi Minority Commission also on live air do not get called out as deplorable. That is why people have to come out and speak, because we get support and whataboutery on seditious statements wanting avalanche from our Arab world. If that is also not condemned on live television, then we will all have to speak.
Let me put it this way to you. The entire Muslim community of this country is with India, and India, there is no difference between Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis, Jains, anyone in India, okay? what some people are doing, Chetan, and they've been doing it for a long time now, they are using the Muslim card to keep themselves relevant. And that, I think, is a very, what would I call it? It's a very selfish, cannibalistic approach. It's political vulturism, Chetan. You know, and to try and do that, everyone is today beginning to ask you, Chetan, everyone, across the whole country. This has happened during the time of the COVID fight. But do you think we prompted B.L. Vora and General Soy to speak? They spoke because they've observed it. Did anyone prompt you, General Soy and B.L. Vora? They saw it. They are fed up too. They are very senior people.
I'm agreeing to you.
They watch television as well. They see these debates. I'm sure at one point they feel, why should their voice not come out stronger than yours?
Strong foundation in our country.
No, first you apologize to them for a disservice you've done, Chetan.
Like, this is not the first time that these senior people, the bureaucrats, the people who have
they are not bureaucrats alone.
Great success in their own field have come out and signed the letter.
Why have they come out? Ask them. No, Chetan, ask them.
Up from the other side.
Chetan, ask Mr. Vora and General Soy, why did you come out?
This kind of politics must come down.
Do you think they have any political agenda?
In fact,
are they seeking office? Are they seeking favors? Absolutely not.
But at the same time, coming down on this kind of stuff. See, this is what I want to find out. If you will allow me, Arnab, to have
these two gentlemen on the left are not being allowed to speak. No, let's have that. All five on it.
In fact, I would say that as an Indian, I'm Indian first than any religion.
Yes, sir, go on.
And I feel that Muslims are as patriotic as any other community.
Yeah.
And they are also Indian first than any other religion.
No, but why?
So, in fact, we feel bad, we feel hurt, and somebody uses them and for their personal gain, for dividing India, bring bad name to India. And then when the government is doing things which are above religion, whether it is a movement of people, whether it is evacuation of people, whether it is a medical treatment, whether it is providing food, when it is being done above religion, caste, color, creed, then why should this point become?
Just not generalize. When you generalize the substance, there's no substance in your letter. Let me tell you, writing and signing a letter, without a substance, without naming and shaming people, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Well,
Why do you people come out and generalize?
No.
Why do you create a panic? Why do you create an issue?
People like Rohit here would not speak out against him, not in my name, Captain. And now, Peter, Lieutenant Ayush, but it came because
when we know the kind of fake news.
Your own party people are
No, you would not come out against Junior or white people. You threatened 10 of all Hindus. And 20 crore Muslims would pledge 100 crore.
Thank you very much. One minute. Now one point. Mr. Vora, in our country, I can only tell you this. It has been my firm resolve to expand the nature of public debate. All that I have ever wanted to do is to expand the nature of public debate, to make it more inclusive, to get people from all sides, sections of society, to make different voices heard. I'm happy that you've spoken. I'm happy Mehez has spoken. I'm happy everyone's spoken. But remember today, what has happened, sir, you are more experienced. The one small group of people have held on to and said, we control the narrative of India. And Abhijit, today nobody watches them. Those channels that said they control the narrative of India have 1% viewership. Nobody reads them. And the new media is also emerging.
Can I say one sentence?
Yes, General, Mr. Vora, all I'd say is people like you need to come out even more strongly now in the future so that the real voices of integrity in the country are heard. Yes, Mr. Vora, go on.
I said thank you very much for calling us so that our voice is also heard.
Yes.
We are grateful to Republic TV for that.
Well, we are grateful that you came. We are grateful that you came. Viewers, I thank you very much for I thank you very much for watching tonight. Through the whole day today, and you know which context I'm talking about, we have received an overwhelming wave of letters, messages, calls, WhatsApps, wishing us well in our fight. Believe me, viewers, believe me, the truth about Palghar is going to come out. Sonia Gandhi, you know that, don't you? The people of India are with us, even more strongly so. We will fight everywhere, but we will make sure the truth about Palghar and every other investigation comes out even stronger. See you tomorrow at 9. Good night and goodbye.